A tragic twist of fate brought our next guests together, and now they're sharing their story of how to pick up the pieces after losing a loved one.
We are two men, black men, who share one of the most earth-shattering experiences, losing a spouse to cancer.
We're having real, open, and honest conversations about navigating loss, moving forward, becoming single dads overnight.
David McClain and Jamal Jones are creating a safe space where men can really have those candid conversations, right, about grief, emotional recovery, getting back up again, which is the name of their podcast. And David and Jamal are joining us now on the couch. So great to have both of you here.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Important conversations here to change the narrative about how men deal with their emotions, okay? I want to talk to you both about your individual stories and how you got to this point. I'll start with you.
Yeah, so I found out that my late wife was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she fought an amazing battle, and unfortunately she lost that battle, and it was devastating to our family. But the hardest part was actually figuring out for me what's next, right? How do I take that first step? And that was, something that I found difficult, having those conversations with different people.
And you?
Yeah, just similarly, that diagnosis, and then you just have to work through it and understand that things are going to be different and that you're going to have to carry on and figure it all out.
Yeah.
It's not going to be perfect, but you just have to move on. So that when that diagnosis came and became more serious, steps had to be made. Hope for the best, plan for the worst, as we say.
Yeah. Now, did you know each other prior to this?
No, we didn't. We actually, so I had, after COVID, my family and I, my new wife and our family decided to move back to New Jersey to be closer to family. And our daughters were in the same middle school.
It's a play date.
It was a play date. They set us up for a play date.
You guys probably have something in common.
Yeah.
And that's how we met.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we met, and I think it was during that initial conversation, I think we knew where we were. He knew I'd moved forward. I knew that his wife had just passed, and that was just, it just kind of kicked off from then. And it was great. I think we became a huge resource for each other.
Yeah. Before meeting each other and having these conversations, and before launching the podcast, what was your view of how men express emotions and feelings and grief? And
we know that it exists. It could be tamped down. And it has to come to the surface, because if it isn't brought to the surface and addressed, then it's going to be detrimental to that person, to that relationship, and it doesn't help the kids. So we also hear about so many health problems that result from suppressing all of that.
Yeah.
And so that's what we realize, listen, we need to talk about it as men. Everyone needs to talk about it in as familiar a way as we talk about sports, music, and the things that we love, that all of us need to address it in that way, in context, at the right time, and in appropriate situations.
I mean, well, you met through your children.
Yeah.
How have you been dealing with the loss with your children, talking to them about it?
Yeah, for me, I think it's been a constant conversation.
Okay.
I think
How old are they?
So my children are 4 now. So I have my youngest with my new wife, Jordan. So 4, 15, 20, and I have a 32-year-old stepson. With my late wife. And it's a progressive conversation. I think when you're, at least we talked about the first moments when you're actually struggling to express and deal with your own emotions.
Yeah.
The only thing that I thought to do in those initial days and weeks and months was just check in with them. How are you feeling? How are you, what are you thinking? And telling them what I was thinking, what I was feeling. It's an evolution.
But I think we always were in that realm of, start with sickness. This is what's going to happen. This is what you're going to see, the changes in your mother.
Yeah.
And then when it became more terminal, then age-appropriate conversation as it related to that. And then we just have a team around us that we talk about.
The village.
Yeah. And the school, the counselors, aunties, play aunties, whomever they are, all those people are very important in making our children as well-rounded as they possibly can.
So how do you break it down on the podcast? What do you talk about in terms of grief and emotions and how to deal? Because I'm an emotional guy, and I have no problem telling people I've been that way my whole life. But with that comes a lot of name calling, a lot of certain things. If you show feelings, right, you're feminine or whatever it may be. Now, what do you talk about when you break it down?
Yeah, I think the way we're approaching it is really we're starting our podcast really from telling our backstory and then bringing our listeners and our audience and our community to where we are today. And it's a constant evolution. It's a constant conversation around this is what I'm feeling now, and being honest, saying, hey, in this moment, you know, for me 8 years ago, I didn't know. I was confused. I was lost. And I think it's a little bit of being retrospective and being able to look in the past and being okay, or saying, hey, like, yeah, I probably handled this the wrong way. And I think that's an honest conversation around what those emotions should be in that moment. So.
Yeah, and I also think, to your point, Dan, is that we are reframing this idea of being quiet about something or showing weakness is not strength. And actually it is, because it's this lived experience that we have. We're of a certain age, we have children to raise. We need to have these conversations so that we can move forward. So that's what we do in the podcast. And balance it with humor as well.
Does it continue to be therapeutic for you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Today, it's something that we also, you know, we end an episode and we're like, wow, that was, I didn't expect that. You know, so it is.
And I think also the preparation going into some of them, it's, we're gonna need the Kleenex for this one, man. I don't know where I'm gonna be with this one. So, but then we get it out and we feel that we have something that we're giving to this community that we're growing. That other men can, okay, they were able to talk about that. And here are the solutions that they have moving forward.
All right, very good. And you're dating?
Well, that's a complex. How long is this segment?
We'll talk in the commercial.
So it's complex.
Okay.
Because I have 2 children. I am well trained, as they say, for kind of the relationship because of the women you see here, my mother, my grandmother. So I know who I am going into relationships. I think it's a complex universe with all of my commitments, job, household, kids, special person to be in my universe. So, but I have been dating Dan.
There you go.
Well, David and Jamal, thanks so much for coming in and sharing your story.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
And there's the podcast, Getting Back Up, Finding Life After Death, wherever you listen to your podcast, right? Okay, thank you very much.
All right,